Hi, my name is Simon, lead producer at Omida Studios.
Hi, and I'm Olivia Fajardo, and I'm the communications director here at the Media Studios, and we're super excited to talk about Predecessor today. Yeah, I can start talking about that. So one of our founders, Robbie Singh, he was a massive fan of Paragon. He was even like one of the largest content creators for the game. And when Epic announced that they would discontinue the game, he obviously was like super sad and like, oh no, one of my favorite games it's now it's no longer, right? And after Epic decided to give the assets for everyone to pretty much like do whatever they wanted, like new projects with it, Robbie saw an opportunity. So Robbie, alongside two of his friends and then eventually co-workers, decided to start working on this project as a fun, as a hobby project. And pretty much what was interesting to see was that Robbie, alongside his two friends, but also with all of his audience and like all of the people that already wanted to see how a new kind of game would look like, they all started to like pretty much like build Predecessor together in a way. So it was really interesting to see like how Predecessor literally started with like some live streams of Smokey, just like like opening Twitch and like opening like Unreal Engine and then just like streaming like, oh, let's see how we can like implement this character, let's see how we can implement this map. And something that started as a very passionate community project kept growing and kept evolving, and it's like, oh, this actually looks like a game now. And it kept going and it kept evolving, and it's like, hey, we should start hiring some people. Then fast forward to where we are right now, where we just launched our 1.0 version. We're super excited about it. We have over 2 million players already, and we're still growing, and we're still like bringing more news and exciting heroes and content for all the players around the world.
Yeah, I think what is important to say is like, while I think old Paragon players, when they are coming back to the game, there's definitely a level of nostalgia, like coming back home kind of like in a map that you probably know already, and like seeing the old characters again. But at the end of the day, Predecessor, while it has this nostalgia, it is its own game on its own. Like, it will feel like Paragon, but it's still slightly different. It's our like goal is also to stand on our own two legs and build our own like characters, our own pace, our own kind of game. Yeah.
So that's a really interesting question. Like, how do we see esports? I think first and foremost, we are a community-driven studio, right? So our initial objective was like, how can we support the community competitions that our players are organically organizing? So that's how we started with like PCC.
Yeah.
We have like weekly competition happening pretty much, and our initial objective is obviously to support the community and support our community the way they want to play, the way they want to compete. So it's really exciting to see that also culminates into very interesting kind of competition, like from like very casual, like I only play one kind of hero,
Yeah.
All the way to like what we would call like like the most like hardcore ranked, very high skilled players. It's always good to see how much the community is like pushing the boundaries of what is doable and what's capable in the game. So our objective, especially when it comes to competition, is supporting the community that we already have and allowing them to grow alongside the game.
Yeah, it was definitely not easy, but we made the conscious decision before we went into beta to switch the engine from Unreal Engine 4 to 5, because at the end of the day, MOBAs are a live service game. We are building this project to last, so for the long term, we decided we should switch engine as soon as we can, because the more players we have, the more difficult it will become. And we really want to make sure that we have like the best foundation for this game so that we can use all the new features and so on that are coming with every engine update and so on.
So that's actually a really interesting question, because we have been on like first like closed beta for a few years and like open beta for a while, and then we're now free to play and like pretty much like launched. So it's really interesting for us to see this as kind of like a day one or kind of like a day zero for us. So it's super exciting to see like a huge influx of new players that are enjoying the game for the first time. We have a lot of plans, like content that we want to bring to players, like new heroes. And it's super cool to see that our community is also growing, and we are excited to see what kind of direction it's going to go. It's always good to see that. Obviously, we had like a massive like Paragon-focused community right from the start, but as it keeps going and growing, we're getting more and more Predecessor fans and people that want to see more of the creative things that we can do, and then we can. That now is like pretty much like Predecessor only kind of features. So yeah, so we're super excited about the future of Predecessor. We're everyone at Omida Studios are super busy at work.
Yeah.
Busier than you probably would like to be.
Yeah, I mean 1.0 feels like, oh yeah, it's now full release. But at the end of the day, for us, it just means like it's a start again, right? Like it's a new beginning. It's now going into like the phase of like figuring out, okay, what can we do? Like what is the essence that we want to do, for example, every year or stuff like that. So yeah, it's definitely huge. It's great to see like the influx of players, but we're also very aware this is not the end. This is actually the beginning for us now.
I think it's always good. It's always scary. Launching games is always scary, right? But so far, we are super excited on how welcoming our community has been to the influx of new players. Also, because Predecessor is cross-platform, we are seeing a massive influx of players from multiple different platforms. So it's always great to see how competition is evolving, like PC, like keyboard and mouse versus like controller on Xbox and PlayStation. So seeing how this is evolving has been super exciting for us. And I know our community managers are having their hands full, like just like onboarding and welcoming so many new people. Yeah, so we couldn't be happier, to be honest. While like the market is ever changing and every kind of wave or age of video games have their unique challenges, we believe a lot in Predecessor. And the numbers that we are getting are backing us up. But most importantly is that how strong our community is and how much we are building this alongside our community with their feedback, with like features that we truly believe are going to make a massive difference in their experience, in their gameplay, their overall enjoyment of the game. So I think each game has its own uniqueness, and we really believe that the unique traits that Predecessor have is what is going to make our game like shine for many, many years to come. So the MOBA genre and the whole market, like any other markets in the video game, has a lot of space for new ideas. And I think to each MOBA, there's always going to be a space for a specific community to grow, right? So I think all the MOBAs that we have in the market that are here for many, many years are amazing games, and we truly believe the Predecessor is now one of these amazing games. And to each game that has its own unique qualities and unique features, I do believe that Predecessor, with its verticality, with its more like fast-paced, like shooter kind of elements to it, we're really finding our niche and finding our branch in the market that is really resonating to a really like vibrating community right now. So yeah, so I think the MOBAs are here to stay, and we definitely are finding our own space in this market, and we're super excited to see how much this space can grow in the next few years.
Yeah, definitely. I think the verticality, especially in Predecessor, is like what makes it very unique as well, and it's like what creates very fun and interesting combat mode moments that you wouldn't have in another game.
Yeah, especially when you just like put it in the hands of the community. We usually say, "Oh, that's how you play this hero," and like you give it to the players, and like, actually,
It's completely different.
it's completely different, and yeah, it's super exciting to see. Yeah. So we always had crossplay in mind from day one. That was always an important part for us. Because of the third-person camera, because of how you move the character, how you shoot, how you aim, it felt right to play on a controller. So we always knew we wanted to have the game Predecessor available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. So with that in mind, we developed the game, like even before we had the game on PlayStation and Xbox, you already could play the game on a controller. In fact, we actually had a very significant portion of our players already play on a controller, even when keyboard and mouse was an option on PC, just because they preferred, just because they liked like interacting with it. So that for us was always very important. So we had that from a design standpoint from day one. Now, when it comes to like the challenges of releasing the game on multiple platforms, I think like Simon has more insights into it.
Yeah, I mean, releasing on multiple platforms obviously comes with its own challenges. Its own submission processes, aligning updates. It's like on PC, you develop the update, you push it live, you're done kind of. On console, you need to plan a little bit more ahead. So that's definitely a challenge. There's also the hardware aspect of it, that like consoles are different from PC, and then you have all the different ones. So obviously there's a lot of technical challenges, but we are not the first ones to do it, and we're getting better and better at it. So at the end, it's very fine.
Yes, so I think, first of all, thank you so much for watching this. We're super excited to be here at the Gamescom speaking to you guys. Predecessor just launched our 1.0. We're super excited about it. The game is available for free on Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and also like on PC, on Steam and Epic. And yeah, now is like the most exciting time for you to join the game. Like we're releasing like new heroes quite often, and there's always new stuff for you to do. And we have like recently launched Ranked. So if you are up for the challenge, now is the time to jump into Predecessor.
Yeah. And definitely check out our last trailer if you want to know more about the game, if you want to get more insight into how it plays and everything. And there might be a teaser at the end of the day.
Exactly.